Big Brother 17 has finally came to a close, but Kev and I are here doing interviews with the house guests, some in the house, some outside the house, some stuck somewhere in between, like jury. And we have today with us a very special guest, Shelli from Big Brother 17.
Welcome, Shelli. Good to have you.
Okay, so
good to be here.
Yes, my first question is, how did you go from the casting process from, I guess, auditioning to being on Big Brother?
What do you mean, how did I go from that?
Like how
did you end up on the show, Shelli? You're from Georgia, and then you're on our television sets 3 times a day. How the heck did that happen?
I got contacted by somebody on Instagram, and I was a really, really huge Big Brother fan, so I didn't have to do any catching up, because when she said the words Big Brother, I said, oh my God, sign me up, when can I join? So I did a Skype interview, and then I got flown out to California, and then I did all those finals, and it was like a whirlwind, and before I knew it, I was living in the Big Brother house.
Now tell us about these pictures you have on your Instagram, because all of us have Instagram, but we're not being, or at least I'm not being contacted to be on Big Brother. So what sort of pictures do you have?
I don't know. I think it was actually a picture of me with my twin brother, and yeah, I don't know. Someone just found me through that, and then I have a jewelry store. I sell jewelry on Etsy, and so when she found my Instagram profile, she clicked on my Etsy store and sent me a message through Etsy. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not giving you a really good story right now.
And if you thought Liz and Julia had a hard time with the twin twist, you and your brother would have had a very hard time convincing the house that you were twins if they had gone with that.
I know. I would have, yeah. No, but that would have been awesome to have him there, because we would have pretended like, we didn't know each other. We could have played 2 different games but played together. That would have been cool. That would be a fun twin twist for them to do.
That would be,
now, do you guys look alike at all, or no?
Well, all of my brothers, I have 5 kids. We have 5 kids in our family, so I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. We all look alike. But I mean, obviously you can tell us apart. We're not identical twins. He's a guy, but we do. He's actually the spitting image of my dad, and I'm the spitting image of my mom. But we all look alike.
So what was that like for you then? You go from a huge fan of the show to inside the house. That must have been so surreal.
It was super awesome. When I was watching season 16, that's when I was like, oh my God, I've got to be on the show, because I've watched it since Brinchel fell in love, and I've been a really, really big Big Brother fan. I absolutely love the show, and I don't know. I recently, a couple of years ago, got divorced, and I'm just kind of like in a place right now where I just wanted an adventure, and I just thought I would love to be on the show. And so when I got contacted to be on it, I thought, wow, how did this just happen? A dream just came true. So
she got divorced, Nick, which meant she went into the house single.
That's right. And speaking of love, how are things between you and Clay?
Very good. I'm going to visit him this weekend, Thursday. I'll be flying out to Texas to see him, and I'm looking forward to it.
Look at her. She's glowing, but she's so coy about it. That was her shortest answer so far.
Well, I mean,
You want to give us a little bit more about what's going on there?
That's all you get. That's all you get. No, but really, that's all I've gotten too, because he's got some sort of, some plan. He's got a couple of things planned, and every single time I say, what are we going to be doing? And he's like, I'm not telling you. So I'm like, what am I supposed to pack? And he's like, pack clothes. I'm like, you're not helping me. So it's going to be a surprise for me too. I know that we'll do some casual things. We're going to hang out with his family, and we'll hang out with some of his friends. But as far as the exact specifics, I'm leaving that up to him.
So like after you left the show, it wasn't left any certain way. Like there were no labels put on what you were when you both left the show, or there were labels put on. Were there any restrictions, rules?
Did he ask you to bring coal mining clothes to the stage? Just curious.
Oh my
then you would know.
No, I mean, I better pack them just in case, right? No. No, there were no labels, and I don't really know. I mean, do people really do labels a whole lot anymore? I don't know, but I'm not the type of person that was going to say, hey, look, we're going to be 7 weeks apart. That we will not be seeing each other. You're going to go home and be on your own, and I'm going to be stuck in a jury house, and you can't do anything while I'm here. I wasn't ever about to say that, and I just said, go do your thing, and he said, it's only going to be 7 weeks. It's not going to be that long. And of course I was really sad because I knew I was going to miss him and I was kind of worried, but he, you know, stayed true. And so we're kind of just like, when we saw each other in finale night, just went right back to the way it was. So
that's great.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was that part of your strategy where you look, it seemed like from watching the first part of the show, you were definitely open to the idea that if somebody like Clay with, I counted them, he's got 48 abs on his picture. I counted them all.
I counted 52.
50, okay, maybe 52 is the right number. You know, if some guy came in with more than 50 abs, you were open to the idea of a showmance, is what it seemed like.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, you asked me about finals. I mean, Clay and I saw each other during finals. So when we saw each other in the house, it was sort of like, oh yeah, that was you, you know, and we'd already kind of seen each other. So that's why our connection was so quick. But then, I mean, who cares about the 48 abs or whatever? I mean, he's more than just that. So we connected on more levels than just that. And that's why it lasted the way that it did.
Well, that's what some say. Yeah. I've heard totally different because I have at least 4 abs.
Yeah. So. I found one the other day. I've got a single one here. So.
So you obviously make this amazing connection with Clay. Then you're off to the jury house, and then Clay's out of the game essentially. Was it tough being in the jury house solo? Like, how was that experience?
Yes, actually, it's crazy. Being in the jury house was harder than being in the Big Brother house because you're no longer in the game, but you still don't have contact with the outside world. You can't talk to your family. You can't talk to your friends. I couldn't talk to Clay. I couldn't even ask questions about, hey, you know, what's going on out there? You know, I couldn't know anything. And so you're still in sequester. You're still totally cut off from the world, but you're not fighting for the game anymore. You know, like the winning Big Brother is off the table, but like being in the real world is still not happening for 6 or 7 weeks. So that was a long time. And yes, I bonded really well though with Jackie and Becky. I mean, I had those girls with me Jackie and I were there together for 3 weeks and Becky was there with us for 2. So there were 3 solid weeks where I did have those girls with me, thank God. I mean, we bonded really, really well. I loved having them there. But yeah, it sucks not having, you know, my number one like confidant. That I miss them a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Did anybody have any really annoying habits in the jury house, or was anybody really annoying you with something
like clipping their toenails and like putting it in the sink? Like, did that happen?
You know what? The jury house was really chill. I mean, we were pretty lame. We played a lot of cards and we put together like a ton of puzzles and we just watched TV shows. I mean, there was no drama. Like, I have no great jury stories for you because it wasn't a bitter jury house. It was just relaxed and I have no drama stories for you. We were all like kumbaya and really annoying about it.
Out of curiosity, what type of TV shows are on in the jury house? Like, do you get news? Like, are you fully aware of what's happening?
Did you get our show? Is our show available on the jury house?
Internet? I mean,
I wish. Now,
we did a weekly show, Shelly.
I know. I mean, if only they could let us log on with y'all, that would have been fantastic. But no, we had to watch, pre-recorded things. We loved Prison Break, and we really loved The Tudors. There's some hot guys on that show, so that kept us really happy. But I mean, that's it. We can't watch anything live. We couldn't even watch, old Big Brother shows. But
I'm curious about this too, and how much of the actual show do you see? I know when they bring the DVD back and they're like, oh, Vanessa just eliminated me. Well, let me show you guys how it went down, and they put it on. How much of that do you actually see? Is it just like the competitions and the voting, or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just watched so we see the HOH competition, then we see the nomination ceremony, we see the veto competition, and then the veto ceremony, and then we see eviction. So we see each one of those things, but you know how when you're watching the show, it seems like each competition kind of lasts long because you see the diary rooms and it cuts into people talking about the competition. We don't see any diary rooms because, we can't know what people are saying. Yeah. So when it comes time for us to give our vote, we are not biased or knowing exactly what people are saying. So we do see the competitions, but that's it. So it's very choppy, but so exciting because you're sitting in this jury house all week and you're just dying for that video to come in because you want to see what's going on in the house. So that's an exciting time.
Yeah.
So now that you've gone through with Big Brother and the experience, I'm sure, was life-changing, what has been the hardest thing to adjust to coming back out into the real world?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I don't know about the hardest thing. Sleep schedule is the hardest thing. Y'all, I don't sleep. I mean, you know, it's 6 a.m. and I'm like wired, wide awake. You know, when you're on the Big Brother clock, even though in jury, we got back onto a normal schedule. I don't know, just being home, you know, all the way on the East Coast. I'm still on California time and I just don't want to go to sleep. I'm a lot more wired. And obviously, you know, coming out, being away, sequestered for over 100 days, and then coming out to the real world and realizing what's been going on since I've been out, you know, first of all with my friends and my family, but then also all the fans that are out there. I mean, the things that the tributes that people are making and the little videos that people are making and the sweet people who are following us and, you know, supporting us, like that's been really amazing. And I just out of this world, something I didn't expect. So big thank you to all those amazing Big Brother fans, because that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the best part. That's been the best part for sure.
I want to talk a little bit about the finale and then kind of how the show ended up. We were surprised at a lot of things that happened down the stretch. I mean, you seem like you were the only one in the jury house that was kind of beating the drum for Vanessa. It seemed like there was a lot of bitter house guests in there. But what are your thoughts on the way the show ended, having Vanessa not end or having Vanessa not win, and ultimately Steve winning the show?
Well, at first, I do want to say that it wasn't like everybody was against Vanessa. So I do want to say that everyone was open-minded to looking very carefully at all three of the final three. So I don't think that there was anyone who was just saying, I'm only going to vote personally and I'm not going to vote for Vanessa because, you know, of whatever. I think that every single one of us did think through all of the angles. And in the beginning, you know, we were all kind of cheerleaders for Vanessa. And I think that just as we started seeing that, like, as more and more people came in, everyone was like, oh my God, it was Vanessa. Then maybe some people started changing their mind, you know? That being said, I can't really say that because I really don't know where everybody stood. I mean, there was a lot of time to think about this. I was disappointed when Vanessa came out and she wasn't in the final two, because I really did think that she played the hardest game. And I think that as far as if you're talking about Big Brother strategy and a Big Brother winner, I think that she really, really deserved this game. But, you know, Steve made a big move because he knew that she was a strong player. And so it was a very smart move of him to get her out. So I was happy to vote for Steve once Vanessa was not in the picture. I think that all three of them were deserving, but Steve was someone who wanted it so bad. And once I found out that Vanessa didn't really need the money anyway, that she was doing pretty good on her own, I was happy that I got to vote for Steve.
Yeah. How about your game, Shelli? Do you have any regrets of, man, if I'd only made this move, or if I'd only created this alliance, or if I'd done things differently? Did you leave the house with any regrets on how you played?
I did. And in jury, I went over those regrets over and over and thought it through so much. But I had to come to peace with that, because, you know, my biggest regret is, you know, when we knew that, you know, Vanessa was thinking about saving Austin and then putting somebody else up in his place that week 5 when he was supposed to be the one going home. Clay and I were all about that. We were like, okay, let's save Austin because he's in our alliance, you know. And then when she threw out Jason's name, I was like, oh my God, I don't really know about that, because I didn't want Jason going home. I really liked Jason. And I wished in that moment that maybe I'd gone down to Jason and kind of given him a heads up, or spoke to Vanessa and said, why Jason, and really fought against it being Jason. So that's like my main regret, that I wish that maybe I'd fought a little bit harder for that. But I can't really, I thought about that so much in the jury that I finally had to get rid of it. I had to close that chapter and just to get some closure with that. Because look, if I had done that, then maybe my connection with Vanessa could have been ruined, or maybe, you know, something else along the way, I would have still gotten out the door no matter what. I mean, you can't play the what if game, and I played it the entire time I was in the jury, and now that I'm no longer in the jury and it's real world now, I have to let it go and realize that it was a game. Only one person wins. It would have been a fight regardless, and somewhere along the way, you're always going to make a move that you may question, should I have done it differently? But you just never know how the cards are going to fold. So you just can't play that game.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, you were definitely one of the smarter players of this game. And I think I think people saw that, you know, as the viewer, at least for us, we saw how you were definitely strategy oriented, along with, you know, those that were playing that strategy game in your alliance. But now that you're outside the house, where can people find you on social media? What are your handles?
Well, my Twitter is, Shelli Poole, ShelliPoole. That's my Snapchat. My Twitter is bb17_Shelli. And my Instagram is Shelli_Poole_BB17.
Nice.
Awesome.
And I was going to say, Shelli, I kind of echo what Nick said, and I'm sure you've heard from plenty of people that you won a Nevin here this summer.
Yes.
So people are coming up to
yes,
you.
You did.
I don't know if you had it in the mail, but Nick and Kevin, we did awards. We did awards at our last show, and I awarded you a Nevin for the most underrated jury member we had out of all the jury members. I think that was the award. But I'm sure it's in the mail. It's coming to you. But you played a very good game.
Don't worry, it's in the mail.
I wish you were in the house. I wish you were in the house a little bit longer. I felt like you had a lot more staying power. But you did play a fantastic game, and it was fun watching you for this summer. And the Nevin's in the mail. The Nevin's in the mail.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to receiving that, and I am thankful for that honor.
Where do you think that you'll put it? Do you think you'll mount it to the hood of your car, or it will go on your
I will mount it to the hood of my car, and I'll probably make like a label that I can like put on a T-shirt, so I can like wear that proudly, let everyone see it, yeah, on the front and the back, because obviously.
I was thinking more about like a visor, you know what I mean? So like when you go golfing,
Like, oh yeah, because I do golf, like every Saturday I golf.
We have some extra Nevins over here. Maybe we should just send them all to Shelli.
Yeah,
Shelli can just use visors and
a little banner, out and banners across the sky.
Yeah, but thanks so much for coming on. Best of luck with your trip to see Clay. We're excited for you guys.
Thank you.
Hopefully that goes well. And it was great having you on. Thanks for taking the time to come and talk some Big Brother with us. And best of luck with everything you got going on.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to me, y'all.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Shelli.
Thank you, Shelli. If you like this video, click here to subscribe. New videos every week.